So that is why it's very important to have warm, nourishing foods during this phase. Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. So today, and actually for the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing a little series, and I'm going to be showing you what I eat and how I train during each phase of my menstrual cycle, because I'm just a huge supporter of cycle syncing. Way before cycle syncing became a trend on TikTok. If you guys have been following me for a while, then you know that I've been into cycle syncing before it started blowing up on TikTok. But I've just seen such amazing results in terms of my body and how I feel just by working out and eating according to my cycle or according to my hormones rather than against it. Like I always say though, everybody's body is different, and what works best for me may not work for you, but it does not hurt to try cycle syncing. So with all of that being said, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm just like not my happy giddy self. Well, I'm very happy, but I'm just very low-key today because I am starting the series off on my menstrual cycle. So I am on it's like about a day and a half, my second day of my period. So typically on day 2 for me, it is my last heaviest day, because this is the most noticeable difference since cycle syncing my workouts and nutrition. But when it comes for my period, I actually kind of enjoy my period now because, one, I don't have any cramps, which is a lot to say coming from someone who literally used to have painful, debilitating cramps where I cannot leave the house. I can't leave the bed, just almost in tears. So I have no cramps. My periods are shorter. The only symptom that I get is that I feel very just low energy, very tired. Like for example, I literally slept in an extra hour this morning because I just felt like my body needed it. And I just love how I honor my body during my period, which is so amazing because if you read in history of other cultures of women going through their period, so many different cultures, some ban a woman because they think their menstrual cycle is icky, which is very sad to say back in the day. But in other cultures, like the Hawaiian culture, for example, which if you guys didn't know, I'm from Hawaii, they actually created these specific huts for menstruating women. And these women would go into these huts and actually just relax. So they would leave their family, leave their children, and go into these huts and honor their body during their menstrual cycle, which I believe is such a beautiful thing. And in these huts, they literally just kind of go on a little vacation in some way. So I really want to push that and encourage you ladies out there to really just try to enjoy your period, and most of all, especially first work on figuring out balancing your hormones so that you can have an enjoyable period where you don't have cramps, where you don't have horrible PMS symptoms, because even though people normalize it, it is not normal. And you can just honor your body and just relax. So I'm going on a tangent, but anyways, let's do a little Kyla's classroom, what I like to call when I do a little voiceover with some graphics and just kind of explain what happens to your body during the menstrual cycle. I also want to quickly disclaim that I am not a doctor. Everything that I'm going to be talking about is literally everything that I've personally have read and researched, and I will leave links down below to everything that I've read as well. So let's just get into Kyla's classroom. All right, so welcome to Kyla's classroom. I know that's super cheesy, but we're gonna talk about the first phase of your menstrual cycle, and it is your menstrual phase. So the menstrual phase is considered day 1 of your cycle and period, and it can last anywhere from 3 to 6 days. Again, every woman's body is different. So during this phase, your hormone levels actually drop significantly. So this is your estrogen and your progesterone. So when your progesterone drops, your basal body temperature drops as well, and then it triggers your body to start shedding the endometrial lining. So that's when you start bleeding, aka your period. So now let's talk about how you can support your body during your menstrual phase. So due to menstruating being such an intense process, it is important to eat foods that nourish our bodies, but most of all, replenish key nutrients that are being lost. Again, watch the rest of today's video and you will see how I do so. It is also very, very important to rest during this phase due to our hormones, again, at its lowest. So yes, this means stop with the heavy weightlifting, stop with the high intensity exercises, and just give your body a break while it is already doing such an intense process internally. Also, working out at high intensity levels while your hormones are at its lowest can cause hormonal imbalances and overall just gives you extra unneeded stress on your body. Because yes, weightlifting is a form of stress on your body. Lastly, like I mentioned earlier, because our basal body temperature drops during this phase, it is also very important to consume warm, nourishing foods to support your body. So lastly, let's quickly backtrack and talk about movement during your menstrual phase. So again, it is very important to rest during this phase, especially I would like to say around day 1 and day 2 where you feel like your energy is at its lowest. But also, if you feel up to it, doing low intensity, low impact exercises such as walking, yoga, or even a bike ride is really great during this phase because there are studies that show that even just moving around, like doing chores, for example, can help alleviate cramps during your period. Regardless of what phase you're in your menstrual cycle, movement is very important, even if it's just walking or weightlifting, but just switching up the forms of movement and the forms of exercises according to the phase that you're in is even more beneficial. So during this phase, again, you want to rest. If you feel like it, take a nap or sleep in if you want to. But also, if you feel up to it, just doing some walking around the neighborhood or doing a light yoga on a YouTube channel or just going on a bike ride will do wonders during this phase. So I hope my little Kyla's classroom helped kind of give a quick rundown of what happens to your body during the menstrual cycle. And so let me just quickly explain what I had for breakfast and why I chose what I had. So I had these homemade turkey breakfast sausages. I decided to just buy a whole bunch of like ground turkey and make my own breakfast sausages lately because if you look at the pre-made ones in store, they just have so many unnecessary additives and fillers. So I just decided to prep a whole bunch for Sean and I throughout the week, and they are honestly better. There's so many recipes you can find, but I'll leave a link down below to the one that I used. But I had 2 breakfast turkey sausages, some fruit, which is some strawberries, and a gluten-free sourdough toast with a little bit of ghee on it. If you guys didn't know what ghee is like, it's like clarified butter, I think. So I had some ghee lightly spreaded on my sourdough toast, and then I had, what else did I have? Oh yeah, of course, the most important thing during my menstrual cycle, it is my bestie during this time, and it is red raspberry leaf tea. This tea really is what helped me the most in terms of no longer having cramps during my period, even before I started cycle syncing. But basically it just helps your uterus, and it just helps strengthen your uterus so that it just minimizes those cramps. So that is what I had for breakfast. And also I like to have, regardless of what phase that I'm in during my cycle, I always like to have a protein, a carb, and a fat with every meal that I have, because it just helps with blood sugar balancing, which also helps with balancing your hormones. So that is what I had, and right now I'm just going to do some light work on the couch. Just quickly have to do some stuff, and I think I'm just going to honestly read a book on the couch, maybe take a nap, just again honor my body during this phase. Okay, so it's been like a couple hours. I've been just sitting on the couch doing some light admin work, which I don't even think you guys wanted to see, but I'm getting hungry now and I wanted to make a little snack. So for my midday snack, or before lunch snack, I'm having this little trail mix that I got in a packet actually from Costco, and it has 3 different ones. So this one is the Mega Omega, and the other one is antioxidant, and the other one is high energy. But the reason why I chose this one is because it is so important to have some good fats, more specifically omega-3s during your menstrual cycle, because the omega-3s actually help with the cramps again, and just having a higher fat diet during your menstrual cycle also helps just help you keep you full. And apparently it also helps with your basal body temperature, because during this time your basal body temperature actually drops. So that is why it's very important to have warm, nourishing foods during this phase. Like for example, I had my tea this morning, and then now I'm having some bone broth. So this little pack again is so good during your period, because it has walnuts, dried mangoes, almonds, cranberries, and pumpkin seeds. So this is goes into a whole nother discussion we can have later on, not in today's video. But with cycle syncing, you can also try something called seed cycling. Same thing, but you alternate seeds during each phase of your cycle. So for example, the pumpkin seeds are really good during your period because they just help improve your estrogen levels while preventing excess estrogen, and no one wants to have excess estrogen. Sorry, that was a tongue twister. And they are also high in zinc, which also helps your progesterone production, because like I said in the little Kyla's classroom, your hormones are dropped significantly during your period. So yeah, I'm gonna have this, and then like I said, some warm cup of bone broth. Bone broth is actually so good for your gut. If you guys watch my gut health video, I talked about this. But it is very good for you regardless of what phase you're in, but it is especially good for you during your period because it is a very warm, nourishing drink, which is good again for your basal body temperature and just helps with cramps. And just, you know, when you have cramps, typically we like to put like a heating pad or something warm to help. So just drinking warm or eating warm foods are going to help with that as well. And also, like I said, bone broth is good for your gut. So essentially, it's going to be packed full of amino acids, which are also going to help with your bloating and any digestive discomfort that you have during your period. Again, not a doctor. This is everything that I've researched and do for myself, so it doesn't hurt to try. Also, it is packed with protein. I think my little thing, my packet, so this little drink has 10 grams of protein, which if you're trying to build muscle, bone broth is gonna be your bestie. So I sat on the couch, had my little snack, and just went on my phone, relaxed, watched TikToks. And now I feel a little bit more energized, so I definitely want to move my body still. Typically, depending on how I feel, if I feel like too tired, I will literally just not do anything. I will just rest, give my body a break. But for the most part, I still like to just move my body. So I feel a little bit more energized today compared to yesterday. Yesterday, I was really tired, like extremely tired. So I knew I was about to start my period. But I feel a little bit more energized and I want to move my body. So I'm gonna do probably maybe an at-home yoga or Pilates low impact exercise, maybe for like 10-15 minutes. And most of the time my husband and I like to go on a walk after dinner, so that will be like my movement today. And yeah, let's go find one on YouTube. I absolutely love at-home YouTube workouts. They're free, they're so beneficial, so effective. And I'm all about supporting other women on here because I know I have my own follow along workout channel, but you know, I don't do Pilates workouts. So I like going on other fitness influencers channels that have Pilates workouts or yoga workouts that I personally don't do. So we're all about women supporting women, empowered women here on this channel. So. Okay, so we're up in the loft now. I have my mat out and I found this follow along gentle Pilates for stress relief workout video. It is 25 minutes to be gentle with yourself, which I feel like it's gonna be really good during this time of the month. And this is by Lottie Murphy. I haven't done any of her videos before, but I typed in gentle Pilates and she's one of the first that came up. I typically like to do Move with Nicole. She is just amazing. Definitely recommend her as well. So we're gonna do this and see how we feel afterwards. Okay, so I just finished doing that little gentle Pilates workout routine and I feel so good and even more relaxed because I feel so just stretched out and don't feel so much tension in my body. So wow, I'm like even more tired now. But now I'm hungry, so I'm going to eat some leftovers. So I did not make this. My mom actually made this last night and I took some leftovers for lunch. It is a taco salad with grass-fed bison and some lettuce, cilantro, onions, and then some gluten-free tortilla strips. And then this is a dairy-free ranch. I don't remember the brand name. My mom always has it and it tastes literally like ranch, so good, and has clean ingredients. It is actually made out of coconut oil or milk, one of them. I think it's coconut milk, and with like lemon and stuff, and it tastes literally like ranch and it's so yummy. So I'm gonna have this for lunch. I did heat it up just a little bit to make it a little bit more warm and not so cold. Okay, so this is dinner. This is a minestrone soup with grass-fed bison. Like I said earlier on in the video, having warm nourishing foods like soups and broths is really good during this time of the month. And also having like red meat, so like bison and beef, is really good because obviously when you're on your period, you're losing a lot of blood, which is iron, and it's good to supplement it with just a little bit more iron. I will have the recipe linked below that I used. I did modify it just a little bit because I didn't want to have a lot of tomato base in it. I'm not a big fan of too much tomatoes. And also the recipe is vegetarian, I think, so I just added the beef. And what else did I add? I think that's it. Oh, I just added a lot more of the broth because I like it a little bit more soupy, and plus with the added 2 pounds of meat, I needed to have more of a liquid base or else it would be really just soggy and no liquid to it, if that makes sense. So in it, it has carrots, zucchini, onions, diced tomatoes, celery, and did I say carrots? I think I said carrots. And then the little pasta shells is gluten-free pasta shells as well. So very nourishing with all these micronutrients from the veggies. So again, I'll have it linked down below if you guys want to try it. This is like my 3rd time making this, and it's so yummy. Oh, and I added spinach. So spinach is also really good during this time of the month. So after we ate dinner, we went on a beautiful sunset walk just to get a little bit more movement in. And then we came home and had these unreal dark chocolate coconut bars. The dark chocolate is really good for curving that sweet tooth, but also it is rich in magnesium, which also helps prevent cramps during this time of the month. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on the other Cycle Sync episodes like this. So I will see you and talk to you in my next video. Bye guys.